family, we want to welcome you. We want to welcome you to this week's, or my fault, this month's per Ankh. And I will be turning it over to Elder Alona so that we could get the ceremony up on the way. It's on you, Elder Alona. It's on you, Elder Alona. All right, hold on. Your mic not muted. I can't hear you. Can you speak?
Who you talking to?
I'm trying to get Elder Alona to speak. She ain't. The sound is not coming through. Can't hear you, Elder. The sound is not coming through. All right. Once again, got technical difficulty. The sound is not coming through. See, can I hear the stuff in the background? Mic check, mic check. Okay. Elder Dale Green, can you say something?
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, cool. So we know that the system is working. So all right. Let's see. All right, Elder Lona, are you using the check your sound? What is the sound coming through? Hold on, I'm put back on the music. Okay. Elder Lona. Brother Kwame, can you say something? Can you hear me, Brother Kwame? Brother Kwame. Check one, check two. Just keep your hand to the sky. Elder Lona, you might need to use your laptop. Or the phone. All right, cool. We about to get this started, family. Bear with us. Just keep your head to the sky. All right. We're going to work through this, family. Now we do it here, Gye-Nyame. We're going to make it happen. Let me go on there. We're going to get it started. I just need to find a program. All right. First step for us right now is we're going to do the bell call or center and balance, a call to silence. So we're going to give a couple of seconds of silence. We're going to move on from there. All right, somebody got two things on or something. Oh, my daughter's wide. All right, here we go. Now
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you now.
Okay, I switched.
So let's get
Elder Tony, are you on for our drum call?
So we're gonna improvise the drum call. Elder Darrell, you did a good job last time. Go on, do that drum call. Ashe.
Welcome. We're glad you're here with us today. Jumbo Hotep, welcome. We're glad you're with us at Parang today. Little technical things, but we're on track now. Elder Phyllis, can you read our statement for us, please?
Your mic not on, Elder Phyllis. You muted. She can't hear us either.
God.
The child who is embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth.
Uh-oh.
In the midst of the ongoing pandemic and the protesting, Tawi Family Village wants you to know that we stand with you. We will not give up. Collectively, we can push through these trying times while supporting one another and coming together as a community. It's time to create and demand change. Tawi Family Village offers you a safe place to be your African self. From the street poet to the street soldier, you are welcome to join us. Black lives do matter. As Marcus Garvey said, the greatest weapon used against Black folk is disorganization. Frederick Douglass said, if there's no struggle, there is no progress. Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lift every voice.
And sing.
Hold on, get ready. Hold on, here we go.
Okay, we're going.
The man you're about to see and hear, should you be so foolish as to have just joined us, is Ray Charles.
Hello. All right. 3, 4. I got something, in my bones. Make me wanna shout hallelujah. And I wanna sing on. Sing till I didn't have a rain. Bring me the home of me. Oh, let our joy and rise high. Loud and roar, see ya. Sing a song full of the faith and the darkness is gone. Oh, Lord.
Somebody need to mute that mic now. Come on now.
Today begun, let us march on till victory won. God of our weariness, God of our softness, thou who hast brought us so far, oh, long way. Thou who hast found thy might, keep us forever in the passing way.
We back. We had it done by one of the ancestors, Ray Charles. So if you get a chance to go back and see it, check it out.
Yes, and it looked very good. Elder Phil, give us the pledge to the flag, the UNIA.
Here's to the flag of mine, red, black, and green. Hopes in its future, bright African thing. Here's to the red of it. Great nation shall know of it. It's time to come, red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it. Great flag of mine. Here's to the black of it. 400 million back of it, whose destiny depends upon it. The red, black, and green of it. Flag, oh flag of mine. Here's to the green of it. Young men and women shall dream of it. Facts and shells for it. Maidens shall smell of it. Wave so high. Here's to the whole of it. Colors brought and poles of it. Please is my soul of it. What told of it. Thanks to God for giving it. Ashe.
Okay. Thank you, Elder Phil. Nation Builder, Nation Builder, Tim. Libations, please.
Okay, here we go, fam. Grab your glasses. You know we do here on Gye-Nyame Journey. Y'all know it's time for us to do that toast. Get your water. I ain't pouring it on the carpet. We're going to pour it into our bodies. And if you outside, you can pour it. So we lift up our glass to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. We lift it up high, and we say the word of power, Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? Y'all know where we go. We go to our personal ancestors, calling on those individuals upon whom we stand, whose shoulders we stand upon. We want to recognize them, and we want to salute them on this day. I'll say mine, and then those that want to chime in, you can say yours as well. Those people out there that's listening that might have some ancestors they won't recognize, post them up. As Brother Gray Carr called it, this is our circle, our digital circle that we are standing in, and we're going to lift them up. So I'm going to start off with Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robert the Texana Davis, I'm Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, Georgia William Walter, Christopher and the Gaston, Eileen, Uncle Chris, I'm Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis of our Brown, Gina Gaines, I'm Brown II, Barbara Twigs, Wash Ellis, Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Falar, Montague Pimenel, No More Expat, My Rob, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal. Now, y'all ain't have to wait. Anybody, any other ancestors out there?
James Haynes, Pearl Haynes, Sean Haynes.
Virginia Knighton, Sidney Clarence Winbush, Felton Winbush, Daisy Winbush, Ashe.
Ashe. Come on.
Nate Green, Millie Green, Anna Pierce, Donald Carter, Ashe.
Ashe. Keep them coming.
And Susan Green.
Ashe.
Martha Ford, Helen Ford, Eve Ford, Natalia Ford, Don Ford, Eric Ford, Paul Ford, James Hoppy Harrison.
Ashe.
Ashe. Any others? Don't be shy. And also those that's out there that's, because you're not on the Google Voice, don't mean that you can't get the typing. We all got ancestors that made it possible for us to be here. So we're going to lift them up. Those that may have not come through our mouth, but always rest in our heart. We lift up our glass and we say the word of power, Ashe. From there, where do we go? Y'all know where we go. We go to this present moment right now. We are in Imani. I'm asking everybody to seek and look for examples of Imani. In other words, activate that reticular formation and get out there and find our principles, because we have to be about finding our principles and putting them into action every day, because they are out there, they are happening, they are in real time right now. We miss them because we've been trained not to see them. Now we need to start retraining ourselves. We throw up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, we move to our children.
Ashe.
We lift up our children,
Ashe.
our children's children onto infinity. We have always been here, and we will always be here, especially if we handling our business in the moment, family. So we raise our glass to our children and the great things that they will do in advance, and we say, Ashe. From there, I move to all of our relations, and we lift up our glass, and we say, Ashe.
Ashe.
And
Ashe.
since this ain't the Daily Toast, I ain't going to keep on going. I'm going to stop it right there. We started with the Creator.
Ashe.
And we will end with the Creator. And we lift up our glass 3 times and we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Drink up, family.
Ashe.
Okay. Thank you for Tambiko. Thank you for Tambiko. Elder Tony. Elder Tony, come on for us, please. And
Elder
light the
Tony
candle.
he could not get on.
He can't
He couldn't get on. He said he was a cold
He's
and
on.
didn't
He's
come
on.
in.
He's on. He's on.
His mic is muted.
Turn on your mic, Elder Tony.
I met you at.
I don't think
Elder.
his mic is muted. So
Okay. Okay. Sasa, Nina Washa, Nshuma, who? Excuse me, start over. Sasa, Nina Washa, Nshuma, who? Wa Umoja, Wa Kujichagalia, Wa Ujima, Wa Ujima, Wa Nia, Wa Kuumba, and Sasa Imani. So we light these candles in the name of the Nguza Saba, Sasa. Now it is Imani. Thank you. Thank you. Ashe, Ashe. Elder Phyllis, would you do our evocation, please?
The voice calls forth the Great Spirit, the creative power of the universe that gives and sustains all existence forever. Let us adore Amun, who though hidden is the source of all life, all power, and all health. Let us hail Ra, the sun, the highest visible manifestation of spirit that rises on the eastern horizon as Kepra, the self-creating one, who shines down at midday as Re, the eternally creating one, and who goes down on the western horizon as Atum, the complete one. Let us revere Ptah, the nature and form creating one. Let us call Wasir, to whom we give our dead, for life everlasting. Let Jehuti, nature of good speech, intelligence, and writing, teach or inform us. Let us worship Nut, the sky, the divine mother, who stretches forth from horizon to horizon, giving birth to all that comes into existence. Let us obey Ma'at, divine sister, who imbues the universe with order, harmony, balance, truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, and love. The voice calls forth the ancestors, who abide the spirit and the spirits of our yet unborn children, who will carry forth our seed for eternity. Now let this community unite in the celebration of the African spirit and rededication to another cycle of Ma'at, right speaking and right doing. Ashe.
Ashe. Normally Elder Clifford Bowie would be doing our announcements. I'm going to read them. Hi, Elder Clifford. Announcements. Paran, next one will be October the 11th, and following that will be November the 8th. It's the second Sunday of the month, and we start at 11:30. Divine Conversation this month will be the 27th, and October the 20th. Next month will be October the 25th. They're always the fourth Sunday at 11:30. The Tawi ASCAT study group meets at every Friday at 6 p.m. Right now, we're meeting via the Black Line, so please join us. Raw Rising is going to be September the 23rd at September 23rd. That's not right. It's September the 22nd. Finger check. September the 22nd at 7 a.m. at Franklin Park West, where Franklin Park West comes into action. The Tawi Family Village also has a history class that we talk about at the same time, Black Line. There's always Madhu Nature classes online that you can go to. You can go to a Bibi Casa. It's on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Saba Banachi Montgomery is doing those. We have some happy Earth Days this month. That is Nation Builder Jehudi Mentor is the 3rd. Happy birthday to his back. Elder Oripianki is September the 13th. Nation Builder Jill is on September the 18th. And Elder Cola Falani has a happy Earth Day on September the 26th. Also this month, we're saying happy anniversary to nation builder, Elder Emily Bailey and Philip Green. Theirs was September the 2nd. Those are our announcements. Thank you, Nation Builder Kwame. So those were our announcements for today. We will now go on to an introduction to the Praise to a Moon. Would you just do that for us, please? Elder Darrell, the mic.
Whatever our understanding of spirituality is, should correspond with what the ancestors have told us, which means we must always refer back to the ancient text. And when we read what we call the Praise to our Moon, we find three very important affirmations. One, everything that exists is connected. Two, we understand that the nature, which is the life force, is inside of us. And three, there's no real death. Everything is destined for the cyclical process of transformation. Now let's hear what the ancestors have to say.
All natures are three: Amun, Re, and Ptah. They have no companions. Concealing its name as Amun, it has Re as a face, its body is Ptah. The cities of earth are established for perpetuity. Waset, Unu, and the city of the white wall for eternity. A message was sent from the sky and heard in Unu and repeated in the city of the white wall. A beautiful existence to be set in an official documentation in Jehudi's right concerning the city of Amun, which possessed their properties. The matter was answered and set. A statement was issued. It shall belong to the nine. All that came forth from its, Amun's mouth, and the netures were established because of it, according to what was decreed. A message was sent. It shall slay and give life, and life and death come from it for everyone, except the nature. Amun plus Re plus Ptah, total 3. Okay. We do every month a statement of African spirituality. We start at the all, and every month talk about the things that we believe till it comes down to the individual. So the one for this month is number 2. Last month, we talked about the recognition of the one created spirit in the universe, Amun, or the hidden one. This month is the recognition of the infinite manifestation of spirit that inhabit all that exists. Again, the recognition of the infinite manifestations of spirit that inhabit all that it exists. Everything is alive. Everything is, and everything we are working toward we're working toward the recognition and the unification of it all. Ashe. We'll now go to Elder.
We have one more birthday that I think we missed. Brother Allende, September 15th.
Happy Earth Day. So Nation Builder Allende and Nation Builder Jill's birthday are within a couple of days of each other. September the 15th. Let me add that to my list. I don't have that. Okay. Now we'll go to Elder Darrell, who will be bringing our Sabayet, our message today. Their story is our story. Elder Darrell.
Okay.
Oh, is that you?
Good morning, family. It's me.
No, is that you presenting?
Good morning, family.
Yes, he's presenting.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I'm on. Okay. Good morning, family. Before I begin, I want to welcome the new initiates that are going through their test to go into Tawi Family Village. And I believe this may be their first time as a group listening to Ankh, so welcome. Okay. A 14th century Timbuktu scholar wrote, "Whoever does not inform his children of his grandparents has destroyed his child, marred his descendants, and injured his offspring the day he dies. Whoever does not make use of his ancestry has muddled his reason. Whoever is unconcerned with his lineage has lost his mind. Whoever neglects his origin, his stupidity has become critical. Whoever is unaware of his ancestry, his incompetence has become immense. Whoever is ignorant of his roots, his intellect has vanished. And whoever does not know his place of origin, his honor has collapsed." I was talking to a sister the other day who's planning on starting her own school, and she expressed her concern with teaching our children their history. She said that our children saw our story as a series of random incidences within a greater story of America, and not as one continuous story of our struggle for freedom, justice, and equality. This is what happens when only one story is told, especially when it's told by the oppressor. It robs us of our dignity. But when we tell our own stories, we're able to repair our broken dignity. Now, I could talk all day about what the ancients had to say, but in order to make things relevant for our children, we have to address the ancestors here in America. But in order to do that, sometimes you have to read between the lines. For example, from day one, we struggled against slavery. Some of us ran away, some of us rebelled through insurrection, while those who were free protested and used other forms of civil disobedience like the Underground Railroad. So while researching the Black protest movement, I came across William Steele. Now, William Steele is the brother who is known as the father of the Underground Railroad. And it stated that Steele was the chief conductor of one of the busiest branches of the Underground Railroad. But this raised a question in my mind. Why don't we hear about these other branches? It went on to say that Steele said that besides the Quakers, there was a large free Black population that worked together in a covert resistance network dedicated to helping slaves escape from the South. I'm going to read that again. There was a large free Black population that worked together in a covert resistance network dedicated to helping slaves escape from the South. So the question becomes, who were these people and what did they do? Because their story is our story. So I did some research and came up with the names of two men who were conductors in Michigan. Now, by no means were these two men the only people who were working on the Underground Railroad on these other branches? I just happened to choose them today. And maybe sometime in the future we can research some of the others. But it goes on to say that these two men were the chief conductors in Michigan. And their names were William Lambert and George de Baptiste.
I hope his battery ain't die. All right, there go. What happened, Elder Daryl? Daryl. Elder Daryl. Something happened with us.
Just left us.
Hold on. Make sure we ain't got no outside players here. No. Everybody in here is fam. So his stuff just dropped off. Somebody call him.
I'll call him.
All right. All right, yeah, he back.
But he's low.
Your sound is low, Elder Daryl. What's going on? Your what? We can't hear you. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, Elder, can y'all hear him?
No.
Elder Daryl, where you at, man? On my phone? Nobody can hear you but me. Call back
Maybe
in.
he needs to hit the join button.
Yeah, you need to join or something. Cause you're not on the list no more. Hang up and call back in. I'm almost tempted to run some commercials, but I ain't gonna do that to y'all at this point in time.
Elder Tony is talking, but we can't hear him either.
Elder Tony, you gotta unmute yourself. I still don't. Check one, check two.
Until we can get him back on, get Daryl back on. Someone join.
Do what?
No, Daryl dropped off. He got to click the link again. So let me call him real quick.
Is he waiting?
Can we move on with the program and pick back up?
Well, can you hear me? This is Kwame.
Yes.
So just to kind of hold over until Baba Daryl gets back, there was a brother who I was just reading about this morning, a brother by the name of Charles Ray. He was a preacher, and he was operating out of Boston, I do believe it was. And he was one of those names who he was in a lot of things dealing with abolition and anti-slavery movements as such. But he was one of those people who also was one of those conductors of the Underground Railroad that you rarely hear about.
Also, the William Steele that he mentioned, that he helped Harriet Tubman. That's where she went when she left, and it became part of that thing too.
Until Elder
You
Darrell
know?
comes back, Elder Phyllis, you would be up next with the offering, or I could do the pledge to my aunt.
Do the pledge to my aunt.
Okay. Pledge to my aunt. And if Brother Robert is on, he always reminds us, you haven't done the pledge to my aunt. You haven't done the pledge to my aunt. So right now, I will read the pledge to my aunt. This is adapted from the Hosea that Elder Milana Karinga did the work on. My art is great. Its value is lasting. It has remained unchanged and unequal since the time of its creator. It is a plain path, even for the ignorant. Those who violate its laws are punished. My urges moral excellence in all one does, so no fault can be found in your character. My truth, my justice, my righteousness, my balance, my order, my is harmony, my is reciprocity. Do that which is right, that you may live long on earth. Think, my aunt, speak, my aunt, do, my aunt, in secular and sacred situations. My aunt will ensure a mutually beneficial community and everlasting life. Jim.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I see Elder Darrell is back.
Unmute yourself, Elder. His camera froze too. He having computer problems.
Okay.
Go ahead, Elder Darrell. You need to unmute yourself.
Brother Hatem.
Yes.
When I was logged in before, for whatever reason, my mic wasn't working. And so if Elder Tony and even in this case, Elder Green are having those kinds of problems, then they may just have to try the link again.
Click off, Elder Darrell. Click off and try coming back again. Your mic is off.
Nation Builder Kwame. Wow, Elder Darrell is coming back in. Perhaps you could describe for the community some of the things we're doing in studying the Wadou nature.
In studying the Medu nature, this past week, one of our assignments was to write a kind of a testimonial of what we've learned in the Medu nature. So as you know, it could be a kind of a lure to bring you into wanting to study it. And so I tried to list 3 things that have really impacted me as of late. And of course, one of them was the notion of just how often and how critical the understanding of what we call metaphor and gestalt are in getting a deeper understanding of the meta nature. Gestalt is the notion that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Many of you have heard the analogy that, you can put an arm here, a leg there, a torso, the other arm somewhere. You can lay that all in one spot, put a head on it, and all you have is a head, torso, arms, and legs. So it takes a lot more to make the being who you are than just a head, arms, torso, and legs. So that's just a little briefing on the notion of gestalt. The idea of metaphor. Metaphor is, to make this real practical, it's the idea of reading or familiarizing yourself with Kemetic mythos. And the more and deeper you go into understanding Kemetic mythos, even as we in our study group are looking at Ra's sojourn throughout the Duat, and for lack of a better expression, what some describe as the netherworld. You see Ra goes through these transformations. So one moment you catch Ra as Kepra in the morning. The next time you catch him as Re in the afternoon. And in the evening time, you catch him as Atun. And then when he goes below, you may catch him as Kanun. And then he becomes Wasir. And then he becomes Heru. And then rises as Kepra again. And in each of these metaphors, one comes to understand various cyclical patterns that we see throughout our day, that we see throughout our week, that we see throughout our lives. Another aspect of what has really impressed upon me is this idea of listening and responding to the question being asked. Listening and responding to the question being asked. Our instructor, our Sebi, Bonachi Montgomery, has drilled this into us so that now the way it impacts us today is that we try to listen more diligently, respond to the question at hand, and then because we may not necessarily be as familiar with the meta nature as, let's say, Elder Bonachi is, there's a lot of metaphor that just goes over our head. And because we tend to come from a Western frame of reference, that strangles or puts a stranglehold on how deep we can go in understanding. So we have to let that go in order to gain a greater understanding of what's being spoken to us or what's been passed down to us.
Thank you. I want to say dua. I think Elder Nation Builder Kwame, excellent. Elder Darrell, I see is back on. Is he ready, Hakim?
He just got kicked out again.
Oh, Elder Darrell?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Okay. Elder Nation Builder Kwame, I will. Brother Hatim, are you back?
I was trying to get Elder Daryl to unmute his phone, but he back on now.
Okay.
Let's see if it.
Okay.
There you
Can
go.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. You want me to start all over?
Might as well. I mean, go ahead.
Okay. A 14th century Timbuktu scholar wrote, "Whoever does not inform his children of his grandparents has destroyed his child, marred his descendants, and injured his offspring the day he died. Whoever does not make use of his ancestors has used his..." Keeps going back up. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Whoever does not make use of his ancestors has muddled his reason. Whoever is unconcerned with his lineage has lost his mind. Whoever is unconcerned with his lineage has lost his mind. Whoever neglects his origin, his stupidity has become critical.
If you're not talking, mute your mic. That might help.
Whoever is unaware of his ancestry, his incompetence has become immense. And whoever is ignorant of his roots, his intellect has vanished. Whoever does not know his place of origin, his honor has collapsed. As I was saying, I was with a sister the other day who's planning on starting her own school. And she expressed her concern with teaching our children our history. She said that our children saw our story as a series of random incidences within a greater story of America, and not as one continuous story of our struggle for freedom, justice, and equality. So this is what happens when only one story is told, especially when it's told by the conscious of our dignity. But when we tell our own stories, we're able to repair our broken dignity. Now, I could talk all day about what the ancients had to say, but in order to make things relevant for our children, we have to address the ancestors here in America. But in order to do that, sometimes we have to read between the lines. For example, from day one, we struggled against slavery. Some of us ran away, some of us rebelled through insurrection, while those who were free protested and used other forms of civil disobedience, like the Underground Railroad. So while researching the Black protest movement, I came across the name of William Steele, the brother that was known as the father of the Underground Railroad. It stated that Steele was the chief conductor of one of the busiest branches of the Underground Railroad. This raised the question in my mind, why don't we know about these other branches? It went on to say that Steele said that besides the Quakers, there was a large free Black population that worked together in a covert resistance network dedicated to helping slaves escape from the South. I'll read that again. There was a large free Black population that worked together in a covert resistance network dedicated to helping slaves escape from the South. So the question becomes, who were these people and what did they do? Because their story is our story. So I did some research and came up with the names of two men. And again, by no means are these two men any greater than any of the other conductors on the Underground Railroad. I just happened to pick them this time. But it goes on to say that these two men who were the chief conductors in Michigan and their names were William Lambert and George the Baptiste. It states that in the 1840s, a full-scale migration to Michigan was underway. And these two men and their families ensured that Detroit was a safe port. Now we see why there's so many blacks in Detroit, because Detroit was the end of the line going west. And just across the river was Canada. You see it? Most of the time, most of us are familiar with the branch that William Steele conducted, the one that ran from the Carolinas up into Maryland, then to Virginia, then Pennsylvania, New York, all the way up into Niagara, New York. And in 1850, when the Fugitive Slave Law was enacted, then they would go into Canada from there. And also, this is the same branch that Harriet Tubman used. So we're more familiar with it for some reason. But it goes on to say, so I went on and researched these guys a little further. William Lambert was born around 1815 in Trenton, New Jersey. His father purchased his freedom. His mother was born free. He was educated by Quakers and held jobs as a cook, shoemaker, barber, and a tailor. He organized a day school in the church. And politically, he advocated Black education, self-help, and anti-slavery. So we see that we always appreciated education. In 1843, he wrote the announcement call for Michigan's first African-American protest convention and served as its temporary chairman. His partner, George the Baptiste, was also born around 1815 in Fredericksburg, Virginia. His parents were free. And even though it was illegal for free blacks to learn to read and write in Virginia, he taught himself in secret. Let me read that again. Even though it was illegal for free blacks to learn to read and write in Virginia, he taught himself in secret. After working as a servant for wealthy whites, he settled in Indiana and began a trading business on the Ohio River. He allowed male fugitives to use his certificate 33 times. So he risked his own safety 33 times, letting other men use his certificate, or in other words, his ID. Just like we got to carry ID now. He was a free man in Indiana, but had to have ID. He opened up a barbershop in Madison, Indiana, and reported that in 8 years, he helped 108 men, women, and children reach safety. In 1846, he moved his family to Detroit, hired a teacher, and opened up his own home as a classroom for Black children. Soon after he met Lambert, they formed a hard-hitting, armed anti-slavery unit called the African American Mysteries. Let me read that again. A hard-hitting, armed anti-slavery unit called the African American Mysteries. And that name, the Mysteries, that's a Egyptian mystery system reference. So these men must have been Masons, or at least they followed the blueprint for the Masonic order. They were also called the Order of the Men of Oppression. Now, the men of oppression carried titles ranging from ruler to Black Knight to Knight of St. Domingo. And to qualify, members had to study major slave revolts and revolutions and how governments worked, and had to memorize elaborate signals and rituals. Yeah, so this is definitely a Masonic order. Earlier, when Lambert and de Baptiste found that Detroit white abolitionists rarely invited blacks to their meetings, they questioned their intentions and goodwill. The two then decided that the Order of the Men of Oppression would be largely staffed by African Americans. I remember reading somewhere else that Lambert had said that there's only one white man that he trusted, and that was John Brown. And the reason he trusted John Brown was because John Brown came to one of their meetings and brought with him 25 to 30 runaway slaves. So they knew that John Brown was willing to die for the cause. As a side note, since we're talking about the Masonic Order, I want to mention this. The fourth oldest Masonic lodge in Ohio is here in Columbus. It's called St. Mark's Lodge. It's located right there on Long Street in Miami. It was established in 1852. And right down the street on the corner of Long and 17th, the building that used to be a drugstore there when I was coming up. That's the first African-American hospital in Columbus, Ohio. And it was established by two of the members of St. Mark's Lodge, Dr. William Method and Dr. R.M. Tribbett. The hospital was called the Alpha Hospital. And it was established because Black surgeons could not operate on patients in white hospitals. And later on, they established a school for nurses there as well. George de Baptiste had an interest in a barber shop, became chief clerk in a clothing store, bought a bakery, and then selling the bakery, he bought a steamship, the T. Whitney, that ran between Detroit and Sandusky, Ohio. Later, he sold the steamship and used the cash to finance a catering business. It goes on to say, the two men became Michigan's wealthiest African Americans. De Baptiste died in 1875 and Lambert died in 1890, leaving a fortune of $70,000, which is in today's money is valued at $1,993,084.62. So with a little research and reading between the lines, we find out that our people did not depend on the white abolitionists. We worked with them, but we were doing it anyway. And we also learned that they were armed and organized. And also, lastly, we learned that you don't have to end up broke just because you fight for liberation, because these were successful businessmen. Young people need to know that. Just because you fight for your liberation doesn't mean that you're going to end up broke. Their story is our story.
Ashe, thank you, Elder
I'm
Darrell.
not through yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a pause. I thought
Okay.
I need to come back
Let
in.
him finish.
Go back on mute.
Our people learned how to read in spite of the law. And during Reconstruction, they chopped wood and sold pies to raise money for our own schools. According to Dr. Claude Anderson, in 1866, 96% of African Americans could not read or write. But over the next 30-year period, they reduced illiteracy from 96% to 44%. So they educated themselves. They didn't wait for the government's Freedmen's Bureau. That was extra, just like today. Dr. Anderson went on to say no group that has been enslaved over a 300-year period has ever done that before. This is who we are, people. Their story is our story. Question. What wisdom teachings of our ancestors have we made sacred? Some say that we don't have any culture anymore, that we lost it. But I beg to differ. Think about the little sayings and bits of advice our parents, grandparents, and sometimes strangers shared with us. There was wisdom there. We just didn't process it as a sacred value system. We weren't thinking like that at that time. But when you think back, you can see the universal principles, like treat everybody with respect. You can be anything you want to be if you do the work. The power is inside you. Male and female must always work together. We remember these. Whenever possible, share. It's all right to share. Stand up for what is right. There's always more than one way. Be open to new ideas. And respect your elders, because one day, if you live long enough, you may be one. This is who we are, family. The children of those people who refuse to die. But for some reason, some of us have chosen to forget them or relegate them to some forgotten memory, not recognizing that they have alienated generations of African people who, even though they may not have known us personally, they fought, sacrificed, and loved the thought of us because we were the future. We share with the ancestors and our children the past, present, and future story of our people. And when we forget their teachings, we forget our purpose. Ashe.
Sure.
Ashe, thank you, Elder Green, for telling us about their story is our story. We'll have more discussion at Divine Conversation on the 27th of this month. Come with questions, comments for our conversation. Elder Phyllis, you're up.
Okay. Family, as you know, Tawi Family Village is a 501c3 organization. We rely on the donations, which you can write off, and we use those donations to continue to do the programming that we do. We have added a couple of easy access formats for you to donate at your own will. One is, and hi Tim, you're running those across the line, right? Access.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So feel free to donate. We appreciate you. Thank you, and we'll see you during Divine Conversation.
Ashe, thank you, Elder Phyllis. We're going to go to our Madu Nefer. We're going to ask Brother Nation Builder Kwame if he would do that, and then we'll do the unity song after that, Nation Builder Hatim.
You know, in one of my readings this morning, I came across 4 things that was stated by Ray. But I want to focus on the second thing that he said. He said that I send forth the inundation so that those who have will be made equal to those who don't. I send forth the inundation so that those who have will feel the same as those who don't. I send forth the inundation so that those who are rich can feel what those who are poor feel. That's a way of coming to understand that there will come a time when the playing field will be leveled. And in our train of thought, we would like to say that now is such a time. In other words, no matter where you're at, when you're at, what condition you're in, you always do what Elder Darrell was telling us to do. Reflect on where we came from, the work we have to do, and then make it happen. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe, thank you. Nation Builder Hatem. We're gonna run our unity song, and anything else you like to close us with?
Nope, I just have to stall for a second because I didn't have the unity song ready. But I got something ready, and I will build it as we go. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, okay. Boom. Let's get this off. And I'm going to build it as we go.
Okay. It looks good so far.
Well, now, Elder Tony on. Go start.
Go start, Elder Tony.
All right.
Hotel, my brothers and sisters, Prince Khalifa.
I'm good. I'm good now.
My ancestors, by virtue of this message.
Elder Darrell, thank you very much for that inspirational words of wisdom. Hey, look out. Let me do that.
Bounded by shame and guilt. We have fed all others on the breast of our mother's milk.
Thank you.
While ours have grown of malnutrition and loss.
I tell you, between losing my glasses, trying to find these, oh, never mind. I'll talk with y'all later on that.
And our traditions, for they lead us, guide us.
Matt, you may see WCCD says Ashe, Elder Green, and thank you. I was just looking at the comments in the YouTube chat.
By the way, that sister is from Detroit.
Hotel, my brothers and sisters.
Okay.
This is Prince Khalifa.
That's right.
I give honor to my creator, to my ancestors, by virtue of this message. Guide and direct my voice to those who hear and listen.
Could we say
we are
that,
changed psychologically and economically?
The name of the Saba yet again, please, 3 times.
We have fed all others on the breast of our mother's milk.
Their story is our story.
Yeah.
And loss.
Their story is our story.
Our culture, our history,
their story is our story.
Can with permission, if it's okay, can we use that when we greet each other for the first time for the rest until we come back to divine conversation?
By God to be supermen and women.
I would like to suggest that. That's it. So, I don't want to hold up stuff, but thank you. All right.
Africans, geniuses,
All right.
gods of the earth can sync with the universe.
So we can hang up now?
I don't know.
Yes.
All
What
right,
would that?
Brother Hashem. Thank you for all that you do.
When I say their story, you say our story. Their story.
Our
Our
story.
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 Their story.
Our
Our
story.
story.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Bye, y'all.
One love.
Okay. One love. Bye.
All right, family, we want to thank y'all for joining us, sitting through the technical difficulties as we learn, master this craft.
Since the beginning of time, Africans have been doing
This
the
ain't
impossible.
exactly the video I wanted, but
Using
I had to build it on spur of the moment. Make sure you support Tawi Family Village.
So now is the time of this day in mind to discuss our rise, which will free all African minds, allowing the divine to shine, the divine to shine, the divine to shine.
Hotel.
Peace. All right, y'all, we out.